Welcome to RE Uncut. Our daily shows are powered by Core Logic and supported by Printforce, Rockend and Realty.com.au.
Hello and welcome to another week of RE Uncut. My guest this week is Michael Sheargold. You know, whether you like it or not, coaching is the secret sauce, and there's no one better to talk to about that than Michael Sheargold. We'll kick the session off in just a moment. Back with Michael then.
In today's market, great ideas alone simply aren't enough, but innovative execution can hand you a real competitive advantage. Nightlight is a cutting-edge illuminated signboard by Printforce that offers round-the-clock visibility and features that maximise advertising space, improving your exposure. Buyers can now see the full picture day or night with Nightlight's edge-to-edge illuminated surface, which utilises environmentally friendly, scratch-resistant technology. Nightlight is as versatile as you need to be in today's market.
G'day Michael, welcome to the show. Good to be talking to you again, my friend. And coaching, well, you said at the intro, that's the secret sauce.
Yeah, Kevin, what's really interesting with this is if we talk about coaching, and the best example of coaching is in sport, there's no question about it, where you see the team is exactly the same team from one season to the next. And the person that changes is the coach. And all of a sudden, from the bottom of the ladder to the top of the ladder, and the following year, they actually win the premiership. And I look at that and go, well, hang on a tick. This is a secret ingredient, and if we do it right and you can connect him with your team and your people, the momentum that can create is extraordinary. You know, most business owners are looking right now, how do I get a 10-20% lift in performance? I'm going to suggest that coaching is that key that actually unlocks it for them.
Lead, manage, coach. In that order, Michael, is it possible to be a good leader without being a good coach?
Well, Kevin, the reason I talk about this, and we talk about this at Coach the Coach, is that there are three very distinct functions that I think a leader needs to be great at. So we lead people in the direction of our vision. So right now, more than ever before, people are wanting to know what's happening beyond this. Where are we heading to? Do we have a plan? Do we have a vision? Do we know where we're going? That's the lead part. So we lead people based on our vision. We manage things. We manage, process. We manage our numbers. Are we on track, off track along those lines? And we manage projects. And I think, Kevin, one of the things that can sometimes happen is there's too much management. You know, even the fact we call sales managers sales managers. No, they should be sales coaches because they should be coaching for performance. So we lead people, we manage things, and we coach for performance. So it is the thing that will actually unlock someone's performance. And I know, tomorrow we're going to get into the distinction between deal support and performance coaching. But right now, I think the key is, how great are you at leading people? Do you need to reset the vision? And Kevin, occasionally I'll have someone say to me, oh yeah, I sent out an email at the beginning of the year. Everyone knows what the vision is. It's like, really? This is the ability for you to remind people what we're out to achieve and acknowledge people when they're on track to achieving that. Managing, and look, sometimes the managing needs to improve, even listing management or, campaign management or the property management systems that need to actually do some work. That's all the manage component. And then this coaching component, which I think most leaders avoid, mainly because they haven't got a strong skill set. It's not a natural skill set for most people to have. So it's something you've got to work on. You can work on it, you can improve it. But if you don't work on it and don't improve it, what will happen is it will become a diminishing component of the performance of your business.
I love what you said earlier too, Michael. Lead people, manage things, and coach for higher performance. Sometimes we get the first two confused. We think leadership is all about management.
Yeah, I totally agree. And as soon as we get into this mode of saying, all right, well, how much time, and those three hats, I talk about this and say, well, okay, what hat have you got on right now? Okay, I've got my leader hat on. Now, ultimately, you're in that mode for all the time, but you need to understand, are we looking at the sales board and are we actually managing the process of how do we advance this listing or how do we win this business? That's really in that manage component. Leading is literally about where are we heading to and holding up high performance standards and making sure that people are clear that, hey, this is what we're committed to. And I talk about the stake in the ground. So what are we taking a stand for? And one of the best examples of this, Kevin, is we're going to land a man on the moon by the end of the decade. And everyone knows that. And what was interesting is that was the what we're going to do. Interesting enough, they didn't know how they're going to do that. And the how came after the what. So I think sometimes the leader wants to know all of the hows before they actually suggest what they're wanting to achieve. On the flip side of that, Kevin, if we go too far out, if we're currently at 5% market share, or we've got 250 properties under management, and we say we're going for 5,000 properties under management, or from 5% market share, we're going for a 40% market share. That rubber band is it's just too much of a stretch for people to grab hold of. So effectively, that tension for change is zero, because similarly, we're at a $2 million agency, and we're going to be at a $2 million agency next year. There's no stretch in that too. But if we stretch it too far, 5 to say 40% market share, there's no stretch. There's no momentum whatsoever. So great leaders have the right amount of stretch that create the tension towards that vision. Managers are all about the detail. Are we on track? Are we off track? What do we need to do to deliver consistently the result that we want? And then performance coaching is that magical ingredient of how do we actually help each of our team members unlock a new level of potential and perform at an exceptional rate.
Hey, Michael, just before I let you go today, I want to reflect a little bit on the difficulties that we're all going through right now with COVID, and how we've all had to change our businesses. You too have had to change your business, Coach the Coach, and the great performance events that you put on during the year. Tell me about Coach the Coach, because you mentioned earlier in this segment.
Yeah, what's interesting, Kevin, is typically in the October timeframe, we run a 2-day Coach the Coach program. And a lot of people are saying, well, clearly, Michael, you're not running it. What are you going to do instead? And we went, well, here's what we could do. And what we've done is created a 9-week online Coach the Coach program. Now, I'm slightly concerned, Kevin, that I think it might end up being a better program than the 2-day workshop. That is a concern.
Well, that's not such a bad thing, Michael. It's called evolution, isn't it?
Yeah, it is called evolution. But the interesting thing is, when I look at this, it means people actually have time to absorb and apply, and then come back the following week and let's put another layer on top of this. So, look, there are 9 frames in Coach the Coach, and it's an awesome kind of program. A lot of leaders come back to me after they've done Coach the Coach, and they say, this has been the biggest skill upgrade. Yes, I can improve my leadership. Yes, I can improve my managing. Coaching, I was here and I've just gone to this particular level. So I can engage people differently. I can connect with them in a way that really creates that shift in performance.
Okay, well, it starts in September, around about mid-September. You'll get all the details by going to michaelsheargold.com and look for Coach the Coach. Pick it up there. Hey, Michael, we'll leave it there, because tomorrow I want to come back and talk about the difference between deal support and performance coaching, which you touched on earlier.
The Daily RE Uncut show is powered by CoreLogic and supported by Printforce, Rockend and Realty.com.au. Realty.com.au is where you will see all our shows: Real Estate Talk, The Property Show, Auction Update, and of course RE Uncut. We are the home of property.